I'm Dr. Lynn. I'm going to show you how to use good body mechanics for bending and lifting to help protect your back, your abdomen, and your pelvic floor. We're going to start with your back against the wall for a reference point, and then I'll show you how to gradually progress. Put your back against a wall or securely closed door and shuffle your feet away from the wall about a foot. Check the arch behind your low back. It should be small, but it doesn't need to be completely flat. So you can tilt your pelvis forward and back and settle in a comfortable midway position, again with just that small arch. Then roll your shoulders up and then down and back, and lightly tuck your chin and retract your head. First, practice sliding down the wall, keeping your abs zipped in lightly so that your spine stays in the same position the whole time. Inhale down, exhale up. Once you can do that, you're ready to start practicing hip hinging. This is a method of using your hips and knees to get lower to reach an object, but keeping your spine in a nice straight neutral position. First, slide down the wall. Then imagine your back is still against the wall, but now you're going to imagine also that there is a rod right through your hips, and that's your pivot point, your axis. Come forward off the wall, but just move from the hips. Your back should be aligned as though it were still against the wall. If you're not sure, hip hinge and come back onto the wall and check if you landed in the same alignment. If you didn't, keep trying until you can maintain your neutral spine position throughout a hip hinge. Remember to keep your core gently zipped in so that the deep core muscle, the transverse abdominis, stays wrapped around your middle like a built-in muscle back brace. Once you can hip hinge, it's time to start practicing reaching. Put your back in neutral alignment, slide down the wall, hip hinge forward, keep this neutral spine alignment, and reach in front of you. If this is easy, you're ready to move away from the wall. Hold on, I'm going to show you what to do next. Try to find a dowel or yardstick, something that's long enough that you can hold it behind your back with one hand near your buttocks at the bottom of the stick and one hand at the top. This is your new wall. Practice creating a neutral spine alignment using the stick as a reference. Then, keeping your abs gently hugging inwards, bend your knees and let your tailbone move back like you're about to sit down on a high stool. Pause and check if you were able to keep just a small neutral arch in your back and your shoulder blades squeezed back. If you accidentally developed a big arch here or started to hunch forward, realign your spine, then push down through your heels, squeeze your butt to come up, and then straighten back up in the trunk. Try it again. Find your neutral spine alignment. Slowly squat down, sticking your tailbone back. Then push down through your feet, squeeze your butt to come up, and then straighten the trunk. Once this feels easy, you're ready to start squatting without anything as a reference point for your spine. Still start in that neutral alignment. Bend your knees and stick your tailbone back. See if you can go a little lower, like you're going to sit on a chair instead of a stool. Now, reach forward or or reach lower, then push down through your heels, squeeze your butt, straighten your legs, and then straighten your trunk. If that is starting to feel natural, you're ready to start practicing with a light object. So I'm going to use this foam roll, but you could try something like an empty cardboard box, really anything that you have around the home. You want to get close to the object. So if it's about knee height, you can just have your feet about hip width apart. If the object is below your knees, it's going to be a little easier to get lower if you widen your stance slightly. Create that neutral spine position. Bend your hips and knees, stick your tailbone back. Now, it's still a little far away from me, so I don't want to round forward from my spine. I want to keep that straight back and get lower with my legs. So I'm going to bend my knees more, hip hinge a little further. Then I want to bring the weight close to me. This will make it feel lighter to my back. Then I'm pushing down through my heels, squeezing the butt. And then the final step is to straighten the back. This requires much less effort in the back muscles compared to if I did a big reach and lifted the weight while it's far away from my core. As it gets easier to do light objects, progress to heavier ones, or something that's a little bit more bulky and awkward. That relates to whatever you need to be able to functionally do, whether it's lift groceries, boxes, grandkids, your own child. So you want to get close, zip in your belly and align your spine. Bend from the knees, stick your tailbone back and hip hinge. Get the weight close to you. And then push down through your heels, squeeze your butt to come up, and then finally straighten up in the trunk. Don't forget all these great body mechanics when you're putting it down. You don't want to suddenly just round your back and plop it down, because that could create strain in the back. You want to use the same mechanics when you're putting this down. Okay, so I'm going to keep the weight close to my belly, bend my knees, stick my bottom back, hinge from the hip. Once I'm close to the ground, I'm going to lower the weight and then push down through my heels, squeeze my bottom, come up, and then straighten my trunk. This can take a lot of time to get used to if this isn't how you've been bending and lifting for a long time. So remember, start low, weight, and build gradually to heavier objects and more functional tasks as these good body mechanics become more natural.